Okay, we are looking at the last two rules for subject-verb agreement. I have a few examples on the board. Remember that first we need to identify the subject and the verb of a sentence. Then we determine whether the subject is singular or plural. And then finally we find the verb that matches. So let's start with the first example. First we need to identify the subject. What do we do first before we identify the subject? Cross out any prepositional phrases. Do I have a preposition here? I do. So Rusty and Chris either was able or were able to fix the computer. To is a preposition, so I'm going to cross out to fix the computer. That's a prepositional phrase. That leaves me with Rusty and Chris as my compound subject. Now this compound subject is connected by the word and. So I have Rusty, who is singular, and Chris, who is singular. So that's a 1 and a 1. Well, treat that and like a plus sign. Well, 1 and 1 is 2. So 2 would be plural, so we're going to use the plural form of the verb, which in this case is were. So Rusty and Chris were able to fix the computer. Let's look at another example that also has a compound subject. Not only the dean, but also the faculty members either support or supports creating a writing lab. Now, do I have any prepositional phrases here that I need to get out of the way? Take a look. No prepositions in this sentence. So let's go ahead and look for the subject. We have a compound subject, so we have the dean and faculty members. Those are our subjects. But they are not joined by the word and, they're joined by not only, but also. So when this happens, rather than treating it like a plus sign, like we did with the word and, we're going to treat each subject individually, and we're going to look at which subject is closest to the verb. So well, the first subject that we have is dean. Well, dean is singular. And then we have faculty members. Well, faculty members are plural. But which one is closest to the verb in the sentence? Well, faculty members is closest, so we're going to use the plural form of the verb, which is support. So not only the dean, but also the faculty members support creating a writing lab. Okay, final example. This has to do with our last rule. Anytime the subject of a sentence is an indefinite pronoun, we always use the singular form of the verb. So everyone we invited either was able or were able to attend. Now, I'm not going to forget my rule. What's the first thing I need to do before I look for the subject? Cross out any prepositional phrases. I've got one preposition here, so to attend is gone. So that leaves me with everyone we invited either was able or were able. Everyone is my subject, which is an indefinite pronoun. And I know that since everyone is an indefinite pronoun, I need the singular form of the verb, which is was. That might seem a little confusing because usually if we say the word everyone, that indicates more than one person, but an indefinite pronoun always takes the singular form of the verb. Keep that rule in mind. I also have a list of the most common indefinite pronouns available in the module, so you may want to refresh yourself by looking over that list. All right, well that's it for subject-verb agreement, and that's also it for our grammar module. So go on to the next module for the next lesson.